Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and what you're looking at, apparently Digital Perspectives, who's Brad Combs, apparently he was having trouble uploading to Twitter this morning, and so he had to use Dropbox to put out a couple of clips. This is Andy Scheckman, who's he owns Miles Franklin, which is one of my new sponsors. In fact, before you watch the clip, just a reminder, the way that you go, this is a physical gold source that I have now, and they get some of the best pricing I've seen, and it's Miles Franklin Precious Metals. They told me specifically, Andy did, that it's best to call or email info@milesfranklin.com, and you can use the code DAI Gold and tell them DAI sent you and give them DAI Gold, and you can call that number and they'll hook you up. They just got I asked Andy what I should get, what the first order I should do was, and he said, let's get you a gold buffalo. So I got one of those 1 ounce gold buffalo was the first thing I got. This guy, like I said, is wicked smart. Watch this.
No one is talking.
He's not just wicked smart, he's connected. He knows guys like Jim Rickards.
Talking about this, nobody. And now all of a sudden you're hearing a lot of people talk about it. And you know, someone I respect an awful lot, who I had the good fortune of having a couple drinks with about a month ago in July, was James Rickards. And, you know, James was enlisted, I guess you could say, by the CIA several years ago to help run simulated financial war games. In other words, how do you beat a country, or how do they beat us, without firing a missile? Do it financially. And he's written best-selling books, and so he's very tied in. And he did something.
Did he just say how to prevent World War III? Folks, Jim Rickards consult on how to prevent World War III. Same Jim Rickards who we have on video. The guy knows what XRP is. He even suggested that it could be an ESDR type thing. He was asked on Twitter. I've shown it to you before. He's also acknowledged and had discussions about XLM as well. But I've never heard him promote any other digital asset or even give a whiff that any of them are worth anything besides those two. I've seen him in discussions where he either doesn't say anything about those two and kind of nods his head, or he did mention, there's a great clip going around about XLM I've shown several times before. I'll have to pull that one again.
Something that I publicly said I didn't have the courage to do. When I speak in terms of BRICS, I always speak in terms of probabilities and in generalities and in macro perspective. I do believe, because gold was reclassified the world's only other tier 1 reserve asset by the Bank of International Settlements, in April of 2019, the same organization who told us that every country needs to have an operational CBDC by 2025, that we will see a gold-backed currency or a commodity-backed currency. We were told that by the Russian finance minister almost 2 years ago. He said it repeatedly. Sergei Lavrov, something to that extent, he's mentioned it over and over and over and over again, and it will happen.
If you see one, they're all going to have to be gold backed, but because who wants to own a currency that's backed by nothing if they can own a currency that's backed by gold? The answer was nobody. Here's another clip.
By that, here's another example how things are continuing to accelerate, and I've used the term logarithmic decay for a while now. In logarithmic decay, you can envision being way upstream on Niagara Falls, on the river. And you may be way back there and you don't know where you are. You know, 200 years, 300 years ago, you don't know where the heck you are. You're on the river, you're exploring, and you start to slowly, slowly tilt. And you're going a little faster. You see the river moving, and you hear something out in the distance. You don't know what it is. So little by little, you're going faster. Little by little, it's turning down. Little by little, bang, all at once when you hit the falls. Now, I don't know where we are, but I think that's exactly what will happen when they flip the switch, when Saudi Arabia and OPEC says, hey, thanks, guys, you're going green. We've joined with 85% of the world that isn't going green. You've signed an executive order. You're inflating your currency. We are being protected by 2 of the 3 largest nuclear arsenals in the world and what amounts to a bigger GDP this year than the G7. So we're going to, no disrespect, but we're going to take other currencies for oil. And when that happens, every single country on the planet dumps dollars that they've had to hold for 50 years to buy oil, and the ramifications of that becomes incredibly significant when you see a tsunami of inflation hitting our shores, and the byproduct is interest rates that go parabolic, and the lack of demand or the complete evisceration of demand will have massive effects not only on the trade value of the dollar, but on the settlement, or excuse me, on the reserve status of it.
Man, I love this guy. I'm going to have him on. But this is his website again. It's Miles Franklin, and this is my thing, Miles Franklin Precious Metals. Use my code DAI Gold, and you can, he said the best pricing on physical gold is to email them, info@milesfranklin.com or 952-929-7006. I am so happy I got a physical gold. And we do have Glint too. Open a Glint account if you want to. Go check them out. Okay, CoinDesk. Elon Musk's social media platform X may be looking to process nationwide payments in the U.S., perhaps even crypto. And I said, runs on Ripple? ? Elon Musk, video and audio calls coming to X. Works on iOS, Android, Mac, and PC. No phone number needed. X is the effective global address book. That set of factors is unique. Now, I wanted to show you, I got 2 more clips this is from Link2, who is one of my sponsors. Link2 has, I was at their conference in Napa, California, and this is Joe Indoso right here. He's talking about XRP.
This is something that it frustrates me to no end how great the misunderstanding is, right, about Ripple's situation legally as a result of that motion. So, if you read that motion, and really smart lawyers, including Team of Paul members like John Dewey, have done so, it should be quite clear to you, right, that XRP is absolutely not a security 99% of the time. And the only thing that is now,
or as XRP Snakey says, 99.589% of the time, it's not a security. That's hilarious.
Going to be litigated and go to trial are the cases against those 2 individuals, the Ripple or officers, Brad and Chris. But Ripple as a company is free and clear. And that's the reason why we're so bullish. There's actually a really important regulatory, not legal precedent because it was not litigated. If those of you that have studied before that December 2020 litigation process in Ripple case, right, will know that approximately 2 years before that, the company had actually been enjoined from conducting their activities by the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, and the Treasury Department, right? And that litigation ended up not going all the way through the courts because it's settled. That settlement included an agreement on the part of those governmental agencies that XRP was an alternative currency, not a security. So it was actually on the basis of that settlement and the legal arguments that led up to it. We at Layer2 made a determination in December of 2020 after the SEC filed that we were not going to delist Ripple and that we were going to continue offering it because we had absolute confidence on the basis of that precedent that this thing wasn't going to fly that the SEC was arguing.
All right, and then I have another clip. Now, in this clip, Joe Indoso is talking, and then Rob Cunningham, who does have the Cool Show at KUWL Show. In fact, he does these tonight, I think at 7:30, he's doing another show. I'm drawing the blank on what the guy's name is, and so I'm going to show you his feed. Here's Rob's feed. Check this out. And we'll find his show that he's doing right here. It's Jim Willie that he's having on 7:30 p.m. tonight. And he's doing that through the Cool Guys channel, I believe. So go check that out. I may have to go in and listen to that. So anyway, in this clip, Rob comes in and asks a question. They're talking about whether XRP would be on the balance sheet of Ripple, and would that be factored in the IPO?
I believe is that when we clear these legal hurdles and XRP can begin to normalize its use case, then you're going to see what Brad is talking about, right? Where institutions, not just retail speculators or holders, but institutions look upon it as an alternative currency, which was exactly what it was designed as a means of, transacting international payments. It's at that point that you're going to begin to see how that alternative currency behaves relative to existing fiat currencies, and look at those spreads and find some sort of meaningful reason for why spreads are a certain way versus the dollar versus the Aussie dollar versus this versus that. Today, it's all, it's just all abstract.
It's what Bill Brown called on stage. I remember we don't really like all the noise. That's not the use case for Ripple. Guys, in thinly traded institutional stuff, that's not why we're here. So my question to Drew is it better for XRP or Ripple to go public at a higher price, or if the market is not allowed to, the price of Ripple minus the institutional adoption for which it was created remains separated before IPO, how the hell do you evaluate a company that's not even doing what it's built to do? If all it's doing is trading thinly loud noise retail investors, and then it goes public, and then they flip the switch, that doesn't make any sense. Or it makes it short.
Flip the switch again.
They need to let us see what the actual value is, and not what some reported price is, based on 2% of the minnows flopping around in the fishbowl. They need to show us what the value is, and then value the company, and then go IPO.
Yeah.
It would make sense to me.
Yeah. The other reason too, when people don't think about this, right? I mean, obviously there's a powerful incentive on the part of the shareholders of Ripple today, and especially the early investors of VC funds, to want a public listing because they need liquidity.
Very interesting little exchange there, and so was this. This is these guys have been doing quite well. These are the what do they call, Black Swan Capital? Is that the name of their channel? This is wealth manager Clive Thompson. He's convinced that XRP will succeed. Listen to this.
And now we're talking about a company called Ripple, and we're talking about their technology and protocol called XRP. And they already won. It's a done deal. Every bank is going to use it. You're either in, you own some, or you don't. And regardless what people think, is it's here to stay. And as Rosie Rios likes to say, the 43rd treasurer of the Treasury Department, whose name is on the $100 bill, the train has left the station. And I think she means it's already planned out and it's going and it's done.
Yeah, I totally agree with my brother. I think he worded that out so nicely. The only thing regulators can do, I think, is strike a balance between preserving whatever integrity is left and allowing disruptive technologies to flourish, because ultimately this is going to shape a more inclusive and sustainable future for both in the industry and the investors. So.
Yeah, well, I certainly am on your side. I'm very much hoping that Ripple, for example, Ripple Labs Inc., I'm talking about the company and the associated token XRP, I'm very much hoping it becomes big like Amazon or Google or Apple. In other words, too big for the SEC to have a fight with. And also, as you say, I'm hoping that the train has left the station. I haven't followed it enough to know all about it, but I have been met and spoken to by countless people who tell me exactly what you're saying. So what you're telling me is a very popular opinion, and I'm inclined to believe it.
All right, so there you have it. Now, I needed to finish with this. I thought this was, once again, eGrag Crypto has got another term. I don't even know if this is real or not, but you know how it is. I don't do the charting, but I'll show you what other ones are saying. Expert anticipates 950% XRP surge to 550. Identifies the inverted hammer on XRP 2-month chart. I don't know if inverted hammer was created today or if it's something that all these chart guys talk about all the time. Not my bag, not my wheelhouse, but interesting nonetheless. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that 2 different guys used the phrase flip the switch in this video. I'm sure that the crypto police will not like that. Thanks for listening.